Hey guys, Tanner here with another episode of Scale House Fishing. In this episode, we're going to talk about the springtime. I like to break down the spring into 3 separate periods: pre-spawn, spawn, and post-spawn. Bass react and act differently in all 3 of these periods. In pre-spawn, is when the water's getting warmer and bass are starting to move from colder lake or deeper lake points into shallower areas such as creek channels or coves or creek beds. Now, lures that I'd use during pre-spawn, I would use a spinnerbait, slow rolled, along the bottom through like rock ledges, around brush, stuff like that. And this has willow blades on it, so I'd use it in clear water because it has more flash but less vibration. I just use the main forage on the lakes I fish is shad, so I'm using just a shad pattern skirt. Also, chatterbaits are a great pre-spawn lure. They can be worked in and out of brush, through rocks or anything like that. And this would be a good bluegill imitator. And see, I'm using it as a more finesse chatterbait with just a small twin tail, but it's a good natural color. And this, it has a golden blade on it. It gives off a lot of flash and vibration, and it has a shad colored skirt. And I would use those. And then also the jerkbait is a great lure to be fished around not shallower lake points, not the main lake points, but if you go find the shallower ones. Also, lipless crankbaits can be fished shallow or deep, basically anywhere where you're finding the fish. They can be yo-yoed up and down, straight retrieved, or slow retrieved. Also, lipless crankbaits are a great pre-spawn lure. They have a wide wobble, and they get a good reaction strike when fished through around laydowns and through grass. Now, when bass are spawning, there's several things that I look for. I try and find the beds where they're at, which will be in shallower water. They're from anywhere from 3 to 20 feet deep. The shallower water beds are more visible, but because you can see the fish, they can see you and they'll be wary. Also, more anglers will hit those, so they'll be higher pressured. But some lures I'd use when bass are spawning is anything that could imitate a bluegill. See, notice the colors on this. It's just a regular Cinco, but it has flakes in it that make it look like a bluegill. It's got flashes of green and purple on it. Also, you can use a jig. You can you either have a crawl, trailer on it like I do now, or you could use it as a swim jig and try and make it imitate a bluegill. When bass are done spawning, they're usually worn out and they don't feed as much because they're resting up from the spawn. So during that period, I'd go for more finesse. I'd use shaky heads, Cincos, and then also the Ned rig, which is just a smaller Cinco with a flathead weight on the top, and you just hop it along the bottom. And another great new lure to use during pre-spawn is called the Tennessee blade. This is a new lure from the mobile bait store, and it combines the components of a spinnerbait and bladed jig. Now notice how it swings freely, so it'll give off a ton of vibration. All this you can get this in different colors, and I'm using this because I use the Tennessee blade as a muddy water lure, and I've got this chartreuse color on because it stands out. But I use it as a muddy water lure just because it gives off a ton of vibration, which is great. The bass are able to locate it, but it swings freely. It has the blade on a chatterbait, and then the arm that a spinnerbait has. And this model has 2 willow blades on it. This is a great lure to get a reaction strike from. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Scale House Fishing. Subscribe and follow our Instagram at the Scale House. Tight line.